So today we want to talk about the cooling system. So welcome. So the cooling system is a very important aspect in any vehicle. Why? The cooling system ensures that it regulates the amount of temperature. You know, in an engine, we've got the engine converts chemical energy into mechanical, hence giving us heat. When we do not regulate that temperature, it shows that the engine will overheat. So how do we maintain our cooling system? We've got here three fluids. We've got mineral water, we've got coolant of this color, pink, what we call it pink. Also we've got another coolant here, the green one. So our vehicle needs to always to be well maintained. How? By ensuring you put good oil, but today we are discussing on the cooling system. Are we together? So the cooling system, it is a liquid cooled system. So most of the time when we journey, we've seen bonnets like this one along the highway. When you ask them, the problem is that imeshemka ama it has overheated. Now, to ensure, this is the cylinder head gasket, to ensure you don't visit the garage for a cylinder head gasket change, always ensure you use the right coolant. Most of the time, and I want to put a disclaimer, never mix coolants. Never mix coolant. Each and every coolant has its own purposes and the engine to be fitted. We shall discuss on that. For example, this is a 1NZ engine which is made of aluminium, where we shall be using this coolant of this pink color. And I want to say, never mix the two coolants. Most of the time, also when we are traveling, we don't have water or we don't have any coolant. I want to say categorically, always use mineral water. Why? Because the radiator, this is our radiator. When we put water that has impurities, it tends to block the cooling system. And also water causes rust. For example, this cylinder head gasket, the client was using water. So it's an indication that we can see the evidence of what? Of rust. So kindly always ensure you use coolant. Why? The advantages of using coolant. One is that coolant, when there is a leak, you are able to identify a leakage where you see this color, either green or pink. Also, the coolant has a high boiling point compared to water. So, meaning our engine sometimes runs to almost 1600 degrees, almost to 2000 degrees temperature. So, when we use long period of water, it shows that it will evaporate. So, we need to use coolant. Also, I know in Africa we don't have problems of temperatures running to even negative. That's why we use water. But in areas where the temperature runs to even a negative, water will always go to become ice, hence damaging your hose pipe, hence damaging your radiator and even your water pump. That's why we advocate for coolant. So you're asking, which engine are we using for the green one and which engine are we using for the pink one? So newer versions of vehicles are made of aluminium. So that's why we need to use the pink coolant. But for the older engines, which are made of cast iron, we use the green one. Are we together? This green one has another advantage of the coolant is that it lubricates the seals in the engine, because it has some detergent or some oil that lubricates, but water does not. So kindly I want to state it like, never mix the two coolants. Are we together? Kindly, when you don't have coolant, for example at the shop your engine uses the pink one, kindly always ensure you go to the shop, buy mineral water and top up. And later, always make sure you flush. After every, let's say 2 years, always change your coolant. But what we as Africans, we usually say that as long as it's not leaking, we don't need to change. But as you change the oil, always make sure you change the coolant. So the pink one is used for the newer versions starting from 2000 onwards, and for the earlier versions you use the green coolant. So that was a brief introduction of today's. So thank you. Kindly don't forget to like the video. Thank you.